a Noahide is put to death for breaking any one of the 7 laws of Noah.
I want to make 2 things clear right off the bat. First, I am not trying to discourage any Noahide who's considering converting to Judaism from doing so. Secondly, I'm not beefing with Rabbi Asher Meza. I like the guy. No, most Noahides don't, but I do like the guy. I've had a conversation with him in the past, and I'm willing to have a conversation with him about this if he so desires. The point of this is not to start beef, okay? The point of this is to correct a highly misleading thing that Rabbi Asher Meza is saying here that I've heard him say elsewhere also, and to give you an equivalent that will make sense, hopefully, that people will understand. In the New Testament, there's a story of 2 individuals, I believe it's Ananias and Sapphira, who sell their property, donate the money to the church. The problem is they withheld some of the money, right? They said they donated it all, but they kept some of it. So they're put to death for this. Now imagine if I said the penalty in the church for lying, in Christianity, the penalty for lying about your donation to the church is the death penalty. You will be put to death if you lie about how much you donated, right? Now, it's true it happened with Ananias and Sapphira, but this would be a flat-out false statement today. At least in the United States, no church even has the authority to put you to death, let alone is putting people to death for lying about their donations, right? That's what Rabbi Asher Meza is doing here. He's making a statement that is only true in like 1500-year-old, or, there's some more modern rabbis, but from the Talmud perspective, it's only true in 1500-year-old Jewish literature. It's not true anywhere in the world today. Nowhere in the world today, including Israel, are you put to death for violating one of the 7 Noahide laws. This statement is not true. Secondly, you don't have to be a Noahide in the Jewish literature to be put to death. You just have to be a Gentile, and you have to be in the land of Israel. He hints at that earlier in the video, but here he doesn't. He just throws out this misleading statement, right? So if you're a Christian, if you're a Muslim, if you're a Noahide, if you're an atheist, right, who violates one of the Noahide laws as a Gentile in the land of Israel, according to the ancient literature, you could be put to death. The problem? There's no Sanhedrin today. There's a nascent Sanhedrin trying to get started, but there's not a Sanhedrin. There's nobody to put you to death. Secondly, you would have to presume that the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, the government of Israel, is going to give authority to this Sanhedrin to put Gentiles to death for violating the Noahide laws, and many of these Gentiles would be from the United States of America and Christians. Can you imagine Israel saying, all right, sure, we're going to give the power to the Sanhedrin? I mean, there's a famous joke because of Benjamin Netanyahu met with the Pope, and the Pope was the one wearing a yarmulke, okay? This is a very secular government. There's no chance on earth that they would take the chance that their Sanhedrin could put to death American citizens on Israel soil for stealing, for violating a Noahide law, an immoral relationship, right? They just wouldn't do it. So, I mean, this isn't even a realistic scenario. In fact, how ridiculous is this scenario that he's presenting? It's so ridiculously absurd that Jewish Christian Dr. Michael Brown wrote a book called Christianity and Anti-Semitism, and he calls this claim anti-Semitic because it's so far from being true. Now, I'm not accusing Rabbi Asher Meza. He's Jewish. I'm not accusing him of anti-Semitism. Dr. Michael Brown has said that this is an anti-Semitic attack. In other words, it hurts all of Judaism for people to be out here saying this thing that is untrue. Now, that's between Rabbi Asher and Dr. Michael Brown and whatever Jewish people think that this statement is anti-Semitic. That's between them. But the larger point here is that Rabbi Asher Meza is in fact a rabbi. And in this video, he says, we believe in the Noahide laws. If he's a Jewish rabbi who believes in the Noahide laws, then it's his job to be guiding Noahides, not to be attacking them and not to be discouraging people from becoming Noahides. Now, I know he wants you to convert to Judaism, and that's what this is really all about. Most Noahides think Rabbi Asher has beef with them. He really doesn't. He just wants you to convert to Judaism. Fair, but do it honestly. Don't use things like this, which are highly dishonest, to try to get people to convert to Judaism. I love you, man. If you want to have a conversation about this, I'm totally open to it. This is not an attack against you. I just really wish you would stop using this because it is not only false, it's absurd.